easy. Too easy.
It's too easy.
Too easy. At 48.
In a recent interview, Floyd Mayweather finally broke his silence about a potential fight with Terence Crawford, saying he has what it takes to beat the three-time undisputed champion. He confirmed that talks about the matchup are happening and said it's not something to rule out. Mayweather added that he's genuinely excited about the idea because he sees a big opportunity in that fight for himself.
You know, and another where he felt like he was at a disadvantage when he had a rehydration clause and he was younger. So, you know, I don't know. You know, I don't go off of that. You know, Floyd is the best fighter, you know, in his era, and I feel like I'm the best.
Who says no to 51-0? I've studied his game, I've seen the openings, and I know exactly how to deal with him. That's why I want this fight. It's about money and legacy, Mayweather said.
Did you in your head size up Floyd like, was, you know what I'm saying, if we was ever, keep it real, boss, keep it real.
I'm never that type of...
Interestingly, the rumors just keep growing, and Floyd Mayweather isn't denying them. In fact, he's been eyeing a matchup with Crawford ever since fans started calling Bud the greatest of all time after his win over Canelo.
Is Canelo washed up now at 35 years old?
You know, I don't know. You know, boxing is a lot of wear and tear on the body. Maybe.
That didn't sit well with Floyd, especially since he was never an undisputed champion, while Crawford now holds that honor in 3 separate weight classes. Still, Crawford hasn't shown much interest, saying a fight with Floyd would just be easy money for him.
And what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter, though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But, like, his core personality.
Mayweather felt he had no choice but to call out Crawford, not just because fans were asking for it, but because 2 of his former opponents publicly said Crawford is better than him, which many saw as a major insult to Floyd's legacy. In a now-deleted post, Mayweather shared his betting slip and followed it with a tweet suggesting a showdown between him and Crawford, writing, "Who says no to me versus Bud in a battle of the GOATs?" Crawford's response, however, was far from encouraging.
We're prime Floyd.
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd?
I don't know. I thought you'd hesitate maybe even a bit, but no.
Nah, not at all. You know, that's one of my favorite.
Floyd's disappointment with Crawford's reaction led him to make some bold claims about the fight. He said he's greater than both Canelo Alvarez and Mike Tyson, pointing out that they lost their big money bouts against Crawford and Jake Paul, respectively. Floyd also claimed that Canelo could have performed much better, that he could have thrown more punches and fought harder, but was paid to look the way he did. These comments have stirred major controversy in the boxing world, especially since Mayweather and Crawford have always been seen as friends. To make things more surprising, Floyd had actually bet against Canelo in that fight. Still, it seems he was bothered by people in Crawford's camp saying that Bud is simply the better fighter.
That you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
It's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
It's true, boxing is full of comparisons, but few spark as much debate as the one between Terence "Bud" Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. And it's not just Canelo making the comparison. Shane Mosley, who lost to Mayweather on points 15 years ago, has also said the same thing.
He came out in the southpaw stance and he took Canelo's jab away from him. As you know, if you take a fighter's jab away from them, then it's hard for them to really land. You force them to use one shot, and he forced them to use his backhand, his rear hand. Crawford was ready for the loop in the right.
Speaking with Fight Hub TV, Shane Mosley made headlines when he said he believes Bud Crawford is actually better than Floyd Mayweather, though he still gave full respect to his former rival's skill. "I think Crawford is better and bigger. He's moving up in weight and proving himself. I'd say Crawford is the more complete fighter. Mayweather's really good too, you can't take that away from him, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge because of his reach and size," Mosley explained.
Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually, he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around.
Fans and boxing experts worldwide have already begun debating whether Bud Crawford can now be considered the greatest fighter of all time after his historic win over Canelo. a victory that once again placed the 37-year-old at the top of the pound-for-pound rankings. Canelo, for his part, had hinted before the fight that Crawford was special, but after his loss, he doubled down on his opinion. During the post-fight press conference, Canelo made headlines when he said, "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather."
Can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can?
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
That statement carried extra weight because it came from someone who has faced, and lost to, both Crawford and Mayweather. Canelo's willingness to make such a bold claim right after his defeat showed either real humility or genuine belief in Crawford's superiority. His comments instantly stirred controversy across the boxing world. Some fans supported Canelo's view, pointing to Crawford's courage in moving up through multiple weight classes and taking on elite opponents, while others defended Mayweather's flawless record and legendary resume. Crawford himself later addressed Canelo's remarks, saying the Mexican star spoke from first-hand experience. In an interview on the Ariel Helwani show, Crawford said, "Canelo's been in the ring with both of us. People can say whatever they want, but he's actually shared the ring with both me and Floyd."
Feel to hear that from someone like him?
I just was like, well, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. One where
by just pivoting, on the angle and making Canelo reach. There were spots inside the ring that I saw Crawford,
In the end, this debate will continue because it all comes down to personal opinion. What's undeniable, though, is that both fighters are undefeated, at least for now in Crawford's case, have ruled multiple divisions, and will forever be remembered as two of the greatest American boxers in the history of the sport. In an interview with Fight Hub TV, Crawford's trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, wore a hat with the word GOAT and made it clear where he stands. He believes Crawford is the greatest of all time. Bomac said Bud's success isn't just his own but the result of a team effort that helped him dominate 3 weight classes like no one else today. When asked directly about Canelo's claim, his answer was simple and firm. "Who, Terence? Of course he is. Of course he's better."
Floyd.
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd?
I don't know. I thought you'd hesitate maybe even a bit, but
For Bomac, there's no gray area. He believes Crawford has already surpassed what Mayweather achieved in the ring. While the debate continues, Crawford himself has stayed calm and respectful. After his win over Alvarez, he chose not to engage in comparisons, saying, "Floyd was the greatest of his era. I'm the greatest of mine. We don't need to compare ourselves." His words showed respect for Mayweather, but they haven't stopped fans and analysts from keeping the debate alive.
Are those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around.
After all, Mayweather defeated a young Canelo back in 2013, while Crawford beat a far more experienced version of the Mexican star, adding more weight to this ongoing debate. Still, Terence Crawford doesn't seem too interested in that matchup, preferring to focus on fights that challenge him and build his legacy. Eve of his 38th birthday, Terence "Bud" Crawford wasn't just celebrated, he was honored. His hometown parade drew around 20,000 fans, turning the streets into a sea of blue and gold, with Crawford at the heart of a celebration few fighters ever experience. Riding atop a throne mounted on a semi-truck, Crawford waved to the roaring crowd. Amid the cheers and flashing cameras, he later posted a short but powerful tweet, 6 words that spoke volumes. It was a message that his roots, his city, and his achievements represent something far bigger than just one fight. Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez in Las Vegas earlier this month had already made history, but his homecoming took that triumph to an entirely new level. Crowds filled the streets of Nebraska as families came out by the thousands, creating the atmosphere of a true hero's homecoming. It felt like a coronation for a fighter who had done what few in boxing history ever have, becoming undisputed in multiple divisions. Yet, beneath the celebration, there was a quiet sense of finality. At 38, many wondered if the Canelo fight might have been Crawford's last chapter. And interviews, Crawford hinted that the fight was never about money, it was always about legacy. Reflecting on the criticism he faced earlier in his career, he said, "It's crazy because when I was with Top Rank, a lot of people said I was broke or washed up. I was getting paid good money, but I used to tell people, I don't have to box. I can retire. You box because you want to. I box because I love it."
In a lifetime fight. .42-0, waving to the crowd, pumping his fists like he does so well.
And a kid on his lap, I love it.
Guys, I'm having a hard time hearing you, but it's hard to hear anything because it is loud. The city of Omaha is out.
My opinion is I like who I like. You know, I like Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker.
What do you think?
I'm liking Sugar Ray Leonard. I've been watching a little bit of Sugar Ray Leonard and James Tony. So they my top guys that I've been watching.
He then painted a picture of how history would remember him a century from now. 100 years from today, people will say, "Remember that kid from Omaha, Nebraska, Bud Crawford? He moved up not just 2, but 3 divisions and beat Canelo Alvarez." Speaking with conviction, he added, "My name will still be mentioned long after I'm gone. That's what legacy is all about." Crawford's words carried a deeply personal resonance. Time will determine whether his promise endures, but on that day, Omaha already seemed to have made up its mind. This wasn't a mere victory parade, it was a celebration of identity, legacy, and belief. Nebraska had become his amplifier, and his city, his co-author in the story of greatness.
He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician.
According to analysts, that distinction defines their legacies. Crawford's greatness stems from his grit, adaptability, and relentless offense, while Mayweather's empire was built on precision and an almost untouchable defense. The boxing world now finds itself divided. Some insist Crawford has already eclipsed Mayweather, while others hold firm that Floyd's defensive genius remains unmatched. What everyone agrees on, however, is that both fighters shaped their own eras and elevated the sport with their contrasting brilliance. The debate of Crawford versus Mayweather is far from over, fueled by Canelo's confession, Bomac's bold words, and the fans' endless fascination. But one truth stands above the noise. Terence "Bud" Crawford has already carved his name among boxing's immortals.
With Crawford, like I hit him and rocked, it might not end well for Mayweather. They might be over it. But Mayweather could outbox Crawford, I think, because Crawford has the mindset that I'm trying to knock you out, and Mayweather knows how to play to that I'm trying to knock you out type of thing, because he's used to people.
However, an interesting debate has emerged about how Mayweather and Crawford built their undefeated records. This point was raised by active boxer Ryan Garcia during the September 10th episode of Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring show. The discussion followed a segment where Max Kellerman argued that Manny Pacquiao deserves to be ranked above Mayweather on a pound-for-pound list of the century's greatest fighters. This came in response to ESPN's recent article placing Floyd at number 1 and Pacquiao at number 2. Former NFL player LaShawn McCoy then weighed in, saying, "Nobody has changed the game like Floyd Money Mayweather."
My opinion is I like who I like. You know, I like Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Pernell Whitaker. I'm liking Sugar Ray Leonard. I've been watching a little bit of Sugar Ray Leonard and James Tony. So they my top guys that I've been watching.
In a bad way, Garcia shot back. He went on to say, Mayweather mastered the art of knowing when to fight someone and when not to. I mean, he's the best at that game, the best at making money and setting up all the big fights. But why? Because he timed every single one of them perfectly. He never really fought anyone in their prime after junior lightweight. So yeah, he changed the game, but in the worst way possible. Now everyone's just trying to protect that 0 on their record.
To the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. I mean, he's the best in that game. He's the best in, making money and making all the, the huge fights happen. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought nobody really in their prime. He always
after junior lightweight. Junior lightweight.
He changed the game in the worst way possible. You're right. Everybody's trying to.
That Canelo was doing, and that I would say this, that work from Boots helped in that aspect because Canelo was reacting to a lot of the counters that Crawford was throwing. Usually in the past, Canelo would stand right there. He would lunge and he would stay in place, keep his feet in place.
Still, Kellerman emphasized that Crawford's recent dominance across multiple weight divisions cannot be ignored. He pointed out that while Mayweather's brilliance lay in his defensive mastery and strategic matchmaking, Crawford's greatness stems from his willingness to take risks, move up in weight, and still dominate elite opposition. Floyd was a genius at minimizing danger, Kellerman explained, but Crawford is a genius at confronting it and overcoming it. According to Kellerman, this difference in mentality, and the era in which each man competed, is what makes the debate so fascinating.
Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think
Kellerman further noted that while Mayweather's calculated approach was brilliant from a business and longevity standpoint, it sometimes came at the cost of fan satisfaction. In contrast, Crawford's mindset has been rooted in competition rather than caution. He's taken on champions across divisions without hesitation, often moving up in weight to chase legacy rather than waiting for the perfect timing. According to Kellerman, that's what makes Crawford's run so compelling. He embodies the old-school spirit of fighting the best, whenever and wherever, even when the odds aren't stacked in his favor.
even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it.
Kellerman explained that while Mayweather's resume is undeniably richer and his technical mastery unmatched, his career choices were often calculated, designed to maximize success and minimize risk. Crawford, on the other hand, has carried a different energy. Even if his resume isn't as stacked, his willingness to face anyone at any time resonates deeply with fans and fighters alike. The analyst went on to compare Crawford's current status to that of Roy Jones Jr. in his prime, a fighter so respected by his peers that his greatness wasn't just about wins or titles, but about the aura he carried in the ring. According to Kellerman, Crawford has reached that rarefied air, where his name commands reverence not just because of what he's done, but because of how he's done it.
I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I love you, Terrence.
Came in all shapes and sizes, each with different skill sets and game plans, but all shared one common goal: to dethrone Floyd Mayweather. Zab Judah, known for his slick boxing and lightning-fast combinations, came closer than most. In their 2006 bout, Judah's speed and sharp punching caught Mayweather off guard in the opening rounds, forcing Floyd to adjust in a way fans rarely saw.
Guess what I just got done studying? Floyd Mayweather, Zab Judah. Yep, that's what I just got done studying. And I'm here to tell you guys, Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But
according to 2 of the 3 judges at ringside, Zab Judah was actually ahead after 2 rounds. But that all changed once Mayweather found his rhythm. From that point on, Floyd adjusted masterfully, neutralized Judah's speed, and outclassed the trash-talking New Yorker to secure a unanimous decision victory. Still, despite having nothing left to prove, Floyd Mayweather seems determined to chase one last monumental moment, a showdown with Terence "Bud" Crawford. If his callouts remain steady and the momentum builds, we might just see the mega fight the boxing world never thought possible. And that's it for today's update. For the latest news, highlights, and breaking stories from the world of boxing, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Until next time, peace.